Hello princesses! Today I'm going to be doing a comparison between the Dyson Airwrap and traditional styling methods. The traditional styling methods that I would normally use would be a hairdryer, a round brush, and then a GHD pair of straighteners. I don't think there's a pair, but there's 2 plates. And so I wanted to compare how long it took me to do each of the styles, how well they stood up over 4 days, which is my normal wash cycle, and how good the curls ended up being. So the first one that I am doing is the Dyson. So I'll show you the footage of the Dyson, and then the second set of footage is the traditional styling method, just a hairdryer and straighteners. Okay, so I have 3 main attachments that I would use. The first one is going to be the blow dryer attachment. And I don't use this to direct anything, but it's mostly just to blow dry my scalp. My hair is still really wet because it holds on to moisture, and I need to get this done in 45 minutes. I'm going to quit yapping, and obviously I'm going to mute this, so I'm going to be watching TikTok at the same time. So I will see you when my hair is more roughly dry. I'm going to part my hair into my fringe, ideally, because if I don't do it now, it's not going to do. It's not going to do well. I can tell you that. Like if it dries, honey, it's going to stay like that until I wash it again the next day. And we don't want that, so we're just going to do it first because let's drop that one. Because the only tool that I really need for that is the brush like this. So let's do that now. All right. Wow, beautiful. It almost worked. It did dry out a little bit too much, so I might come back in at the end and just like wet this portion here to fix up because it's a little bit too bouncy. The rest of it will fix itself eventually. Okay, so now that the hair is roughly dried at the top, it's still pretty wet on the bottom, which works best for the Airwrap, but because my hair is more curly at the top here, sorry, that's not the top, that's like the root. I usually use the brushes. I'm brushing all of the knots out first. So the rough drying like that does definitely tangle the hair because I detangle my hair in the shower normally. So that rough dry will definitely do that. And also, I would just point out that like the roots are not bone dry, they are rough dried. So when I go back in and separate everything out, and then like even this brushing is going to reintroduce some of the moisture, but if I don't brush it, I can't part it, and then I can't do this. Okay, and then this is the hair that we're working with, which doesn't feel like much, but it's the best way to do it. And then again, I'm using round brush attachment for this one. I think I need to be further back. Okay, so that is the straightening-ish done, and then the bottom bits are a little bit curly still, but they're also a little bit damp, and I have about 10 minutes to spare, so that means that I can actually go in with the Airwrap bit of the Airwrap, which is quite honestly the part that I use the least, because it doesn't work that well, because I've got loads of hair. It doesn't look like heaps at the moment, but you know, there's a lot of it, okay. So we're going to swap the barrels out. Can't remember if this is the wide one or not, and then I'm not going to section my hair, I'm just going to like grab chunks and just go for it. And I will show you guys the back as well, because the back is, you know what the back is like. Okay, so that is this side done, and no, they will not look like sausages the whole time, but I am not touching them because like the smallest whisper will blow those curls out. And then I'm going to swap the curl side over. I always have my curls going the same way, and then when I tie my hair up in a bun at night, they will reform to that curl, if that makes sense. So when I get to the other side of my head, I just swap the curler to go the other way and it will create the same spiral, which I think most people do not like. But my hair doesn't clump together like that during the day. So it helps me to keep it curly overnight, because I just put it in a big ass bun on top of my head. Okay, so that is the hair. We are done within the 45 minutes, thankfully, but it is pretty sausage-like at the moment. I need to go put my shoes on and finish getting ready, and then I will come back and hopefully I'll be able to make it a little bit less sausage-ish and move the camera down maybe so that you can actually see the hair. So this is very sausagey. This is the back. The back ain't gonna look good and I know it already, so don't worry about it. Obviously with like the natural like random curl pattern that I have, some of it looks okay. Like this part will look pretty straight and then this part won't. So I will be back soon, hopefully. Okay, so this is how the hair is looking. I have to do the cool weakest update because otherwise I'm going to be late. And yeah, beautiful curls, nice and bouncy. I only do them from here downwards because they, even if I do them all the way up to my scalp, they ain't gonna stay. The fringe got a bit, I let it dry too much, so she's not looking great today, but that's okay. It's just that the parting, like the hair is just going into the wrong direction, and that's my fault for waiting too long to actually dry it. It's not the product fault, that's me. I'll see you soon. Okay, so it is about 12, 4 hours so far, and it looks fine. The curls have obviously gone down a little bit. So they just need to be kind of like separated out, because yeah, they will clump together, but I do flip my hair around a lot more, but still definitely there. This one I think looks not as good this week, but yeah, still curls, and then the top half is just kind of regular. I do find that with the Dyson though, because I'm not kind of like clamping the hair, I do get a lot more volume sort of in my mid-range, the hair, so it kind of does have a little bit of like flat and then puff, and then it'll come down into curls because my hair is layered. They didn't layer it very much though, they only gave me like 2 layers of length. So yeah, that's how we are looking at the moment, and I will do a check-in at the end of the day today as well, I think, to show you what it looks like at the end of the day. So that's a good 4 hours. It's holding up pretty well this week. Sometimes it drops by 4 hours. I don't know, like I don't do anything different. It's just sometimes it just doesn't do it. So hello, it is 10 o'clock at night. Oh, that's not cute. So the hair has been curled 12, 14 hours, and it still looks pretty good. So the bottom parts are curly. The top part of the layers is a bit more straight still, but it still looks pretty cute. This side definitely didn't curl as well. It's pretty hit or miss. So I'm happy with how the curls look. For me personally, like they never look like perfectly circular or perfectly curly. It always kind of looks a little bit messy anyway. So this is pretty standard. It just probably has to do with how much hair I have. And then there is the back. I have no idea what you can see there. So that's a pretty typical day for the hair for the Dyson curls. And then I will show you guys how it looks through the rest of the week until I wash my hair, because I don't usually curl it again. I will just put it in a bun at night and then it will stay pretty curly, because that's just kind of what my hair does, and that's how the Dyson works for me personally. I haven't done my fringe. This would probably be the other way, but this is what the hair looks like after being up all night. It's just wrapped in a bun. It's not that tight, so it doesn't hurt. but it's just wrapped in the same direction that it got curled in, and so it turns into a big sausage. Scrunchie is like satin, cheap, not the silk one, don't care. And so, yeah, I'll show a better picture once I'm actually dressed, but it just kind of gets fluffed out from there, and then you still have curls. It actually gives a little bit more volume this way because it's been up. But yeah, there you go. Hi, it's the next day. I'm just wearing the same sweater because I have had a very stressful day and I got cold, and that's what was out. So I did show a little video this morning of taking my hair out of the bun, and watch back the footage and you can see not that much because I'm so zoomed in. But this is how the curls are looking day 2. It is 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's been quite a stressful day. So yeah, I know it's really hard to see on, or I mean, I'm wearing glasses, but it is definitely still curly down the ends. Definitely less curly height-wise, and the curls themselves are a lot looser. You can really see how like the one weird layer that I've been given. So much of my hair is in the second layer, like all of this is one layer, and then, oops, sorry, I've got to add that part to it too, and then that's the long layer, which is not nearly as much as the top layer, so it does look a little bit ratty down the bottom. That's not the Dyson's fault though, that's because that's what I asked for when I got my hair cut, and the hairstylist gave me exactly what I asked for, and I shouldn't have asked for that. So lesson learned, I need more than one layer. Next time I'll get them cut a third layer of that way out of the second layer. So yeah, I am still happy with it. In real life it looks nice, and yes, my hair always kind of does this straight bit. It's just not going to do anything else, and even if I do curl it all over my scalp, it's not going to stay. I've never had anybody successfully do that. So yeah, I will come back again for day 3. I usually leave my hair 3 to 4 days depending on how it feels. At the moment it feels fine, so I'm not going to wash it. Good morning, today is day 3 and I am running late, so we don't even have the tripod. Welcome to the desk. So the bottoms are still mildly curly, but now we're kind of heading into that blowout territory where it's not really a curl, it's just kind of flipped. Again, I don't mind. It's a lot more like relaxed, so instead of having like the full bangs, we've just got like the millennial side part, which the kids give me absolute grief for, but I don't know, I think that it looks nicer with the kind of blowouty thingy, and when the hair gets flipped over it just means that it can be there's like another layer, which looks a little bit better, I think, honestly. Definitely not mad, don't really care enough to recurl it. There's like a little bit of like curly texture and it still looks really nice. I just brush it at night before I put it into their little bun, and that's all I really do with it. So yeah, that's day 3. I think tomorrow is going to be a ponytail kind of day, and then that'll be day 4, and then it'll get washed and we'll try the other version. Good morning, today we have the last day, which is the ponytail. Again, running late, but yeah, the ends are still curly ish. That's it, knock on my door. Well, I didn't need that package, so that's good. So yeah, it's still like fairly straight with the top part and then a little curly down the bottom. It looks nice. It looks like done for a ponytail for me. So yeah, I'll be washing the hair tomorrow. So that is the 4th day, I'm pretty sure. When did you say? Yeah, 4 days. Good morning. Today it is time for the comparison. We have the hairdryer and the round brush, which is what I used to use. I used to have a nozzle attachment. I might have to go and find that, but I don't need it to roughly dry the hair, so I'm going to start with that and mute you guys, so I'll be back soon. And I'm going to try and do the fringe now. Okay, it's not terrible, and if you're like, why does it look so lopsided? It's because it is. I am going to have to hunt down the actual attachment, but I'm just going to give my hair a quick brush and then
keep going with the drying. I've got most of the like scalp pretty dry. Okay, I'm gonna go and find the other attachment because I think it's called the smoothing attachment, but it definitely makes it easier to sort of blow dry the hair against the brush so that it gets kind of like trapped there rather than kind of going everywhere. So I'm gonna go try and find that. Okay, I found the attachment and section of the hair, so we are good to go. I've definitely remembered why I didn't do this that much, and it's because it's quite hard to do it on yourself. So definitely a point for the Dyson already, even though Dyson is about $1 million more expensive. It's a lot faster. Okay, that is the second layer. My arms are getting sore. The Dyson is not light by any stretch, but the Remington is heavier. Okay, so this is all you can really do at the moment. I just noticed that the hair is still actually a little bit damp, so that means that I can't straighten it, and I don't want to just sit here and blast my hair with heat until it dries. So I'm just gonna wait for it to dry naturally, and then I'm gonna come back and straighten it. I think that, yeah, the ends under. But this is what it looks like after being like smoothed dry. And yes, I don't think that I am the best at this. I definitely didn't try to do bad on purpose, because why do I want to leave the house looking like this? But it is a little bit like frizzy and puffy and shapeless, and welcome to my hair generally. But yeah, it's not, look, I'm not going to say that this is terrible. It's not terrible. This bit, that's just natural talent, you know. My hair just does that. And there is a lot of hair and it is frizzy, and that is what it is. I will say that I think that that took longer, and I still need another tool to kind of smooth it down and curl the ends under. We're not talking about like I'm not going to curl my whole hair, but this is as much curl as we got. So it's like an angle, not a curl. So I'm going to wait for the rest of it to dry. It's mostly just the back stuff is just a little bit damp, but I don't want to straighten it while it's damp. That is not optimal. So I am going to run some errands and then come back, and it should be dry by then, hopefully. It does take a while to dry, so we'll see. The beauty of the Airwrap is that it doesn't have to be dry to use the Airwrap either. So that also gets a plus. So I will see you guys soon. Okay, it's been a few hours. Now my hair is actually dry and we are ready to straighten it. So the straighteners I'm using are very old GHDs. Very cool. And yeah, I'm just gonna straighten it pretty quickly and just curl the ends under. So it'll basically end up like looking the same as the other one, just like kind of like a little sausage, but not like really massive curls. Okay, so that was 20 minutes, but that included the yapping too, and the sun has started to kind of go down. Don't worry, I'm gonna be up for quite a while today. So obviously that took more time. I'm pretty sure it's gonna take more time.
And the bottoms now look like this. So pretty similar to the Dyson. I would say maybe like a little bit less curly even. And then the top now looks pretty similar, and I have a sneaky suspicion that the back is going to look nicer today. I'm not 100% sure if this is better or worse, but yeah. Good morning, it's day 2 of the alternate heat method for the hair. Yes, I'm wearing the same freaking cardigan. I'm obsessed with it, it's just new. Okay, leave me alone. And the hair is looking substantially less curly. So we still have a bit of movement, a bit of curl, but this is usually like, I don't know, I feel like this is comparative to my day 4 of the Dyson curls. So it's not great, but it's not bad. I think it still looks nice. I've already been complimented on it today. I think it's also just because it's really long, you know, and people tend to think that long hair looks nice. So yeah, that is how we are looking for day 2. I think that we should be able to get to day 4. Hello, today is day 4 and it's a little bit hard to see. I'm wearing a black top and a black cardigan. It's not the same cardigan as the other one. And yeah, I did brush it and then like really twirl it into a bun last night to get it really a bit more curly than yesterday. Yesterday I kind of just like put it up into like a little flip overnight and didn't twirl it. It was really late. And definitely helps to twirl it. You can see that there's a little bit more of a curl, but it's still not, it's not curly. It's just slightly, gosh, it's so hard to see. It's just slightly flicked, right? I don't know. Is that better? I'm not sure if that's better or worse. But yeah, there's just a little bit of movement. It does make it look, I like the way that it looks down the bottom. There's something there, but it's not like curly. It's almost like a blowout kind of deal. But yeah, it's definitely not as curled as the Dyson Day 4. And because it was so tight on my head, it's also made the like scalp a little bit more like oily. So that's less pretty. But it's still okay to be out. Most of it didn't have time to tie it up. And yeah, I think that depending on how it goes to the end of the day, I might get a 5th day out of this because, I don't know, I just reckon I could probably tie it up and do 1 more day. It's not that bad, but that is the 4-day comparison. So in terms of ease of use, I would say that the Dyson is more easy to use for me now than the traditional styling methods are. This is because I've been using the Dyson for almost a year now. It did take a little bit of getting used to, and there are other attachments in the Dyson Airwrap that I have, but I don't think that they are as effective for me to use as the round brushes. I was a bit surprised about that. I thought that it was going to be more the other way around. I thought that I would use more of the straightening ones instead, but that's not the case. The Airwrap itself didn't have very much of a challenge for me to use. It was pretty simple. I have a lot of hair, so it's really easy to kind of hold it up and see what you're doing. So no problems there. So in terms of ease of use, I would say that the Dyson is easier to use. I think that curling the hair with the straighteners is also a little bit more challenging because sometimes the curl will turn out a little different, whereas the Dyson Airwrap curls are all the same shape, all the same size all the time. So in terms of the timing, I have them on my phone. I did have to do some maths. The Dyson took me 33 minutes and 30 seconds to completely style my hair from being damp to not fully dry, because there will always be like a few damp spots, but styled. Whereas the hairdryer took 44 minutes and 49 seconds, plus a few hours in between to fully dry my hair. In terms of the breakdown, they both had a similar time to roughly dry my hair. The round brush also took a similar amount of time, but then the straightening / curling took longer. So for the Airwrap, it took me 9 minutes, 27 seconds to curl everything, And then for the straighteners, it took me 19 minutes and 2 seconds. So the majority of the differing time there is actually producing the curl. I would say also a big factor for me is the dry time. So for me, having my hair be a little bit damp and being able to use the air wrap to make the curls is a huge advantage. I have a lot of hair, it is very thick and it doesn't dry very quickly, and it's really hard to get it really dry up to the scalp. So to use the straighteners, I would need to really make sure my hair is like really dry. So that takes sometimes a few hours in between, or an excessive amount of like hair drying. And then the last one I wanted to touch on was the quality of the curl. I think that the Dyson curled the hair better than the GHD straighteners do. I also have a GHD curler as well, but that would have required a fourth tool, so I didn't want to add another one in. And I just find that the straighteners generally don't curl my hair personally all that well. I think that the Dyson curls stood up better over the course of the 4 days as well. I think that for the straightener curls, they dropped really quickly, even over the course of the first day. The only other point that I will make with the Dyson is that sometimes it's not the same result. So sometimes the hair turns out really nicely, like I just did it today, and we've got some good curls going on. Yes, they are a bit sausage-ish, but they're still kind of like a bit warm, so I don't want to break them up too much. But we have a good amount of curl going on. But sometimes I will do exactly the same method and it will result in like some very average curls. So it is still hit or miss. In terms of the price difference, the GHDs are expensive, but I didn't buy them, I was given them as a gift, so I actually don't know how much they cost. The Dyson, on the other hand, I did get it on sale for about $800 in the end of 2024, so I would say roughly October 2024 is when I actually bought the Dyson. So far it's running really well. I use it usually once a week, maybe twice a week, and I have to say that since owning the Dyson, I style my hair a lot more because it's a lot faster and it's a lot easier. And so because of how long my hair is, how thick it is, and the really strange curl type that I have, like you would have seen when my hair is wet, the back is quite curly, but the front and the top parts are quite straight. If I don't style my hair, it can look a little bit like unkempt, I guess is a polite way to say it. So since getting the Dyson, I have used it a lot more, and I think that overall my hair looks a lot better because it doesn't take so long. It's easier. For me personally, I think that the Dyson was a worthwhile investment. I don't know if I needed to get the Dyson as such. I probably could have tried one of the more inexpensive products. Like I know that there's one that's like by Shark, I think. But not all of them are really readily available in New Zealand, and the Dyson came in a pink colour, so of course I wanted that one. Overall, I don't regret buying the Dyson. You can achieve similar results with a traditional hairdryer and straightener set, but I think that the Dyson one on me personally looks better. So I hope this helps give it a little bit of information about the Dyson and maybe influences whether you do want to invest the money or whether you don't think it is worth investing the money. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!